All right, so this is going to be a quick video all about Python while loops. And basically a while loop is just based on how it sounds. While something is true, it's going to loop through. Okay, while something is true, it's going to loop through. So how I would write that is, here's an example. So if I did while, let's see here, I is less than, let's just say 6, I'm going to do something. Let's just print I. Okay, now, first thing we're doing here that you might notice is that I is not defined, so it's throwing me some errors and saying what is I here. So I'm going to say that I is equal to 1. Okay, now that should get rid of some of the errors. The one thing you'll notice is 1 is always less than 6. So if you run this, you'll actually get an infinite loop. And it's just going to print out 1 forever because this is always true. You have to somehow make this false, otherwise the loop is going to go forever. Or you can use a break statement. We're going to talk about that in a little bit too. So check this out. So if I did this and I run it, if you notice, it's just printing out 1 infinitesimally. I'm gonna have to stop this here because it's just gonna run forever. This is what's called an infinite loop. Okay, it's just a bunch of 1s. I'm gonna clear this out. You need to somehow increment I or change I to a value where it could actually potentially close that while loop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add 1 to it each time it goes through, and then if I run this, you'll notice it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it gets to 6. 6 is not less than 6, so it doesn't go through it that last time. Now, what's important to understand here is that I is actually equal to 6. Even though I did not print out 6 on the screen, that's because I was 6, and then while I is less than 6, 6 is not less than 6, so this didn't print out, but in the memory, it still is actually equal to 6. I'm gonna show you that here by printing, this right here. So outside of while loop. And then if I print this out, it should print out a 6. So right here, outside of while loop, it prints it out to 6. So it went through it, it was 6, it did not run through it again, it stopped immediately after this was not true anymore. So as soon as this was false, it outputted it. So now I'm gonna show you another way of stopping a while loop. So we still have this incrementer here, and I said before, this has to be false for the while loop to stop. You can also use a break statement as well. So if I wrote, and I'm still in the while loop because it's tabbed over here, but if I wrote if I is equal to 3, then break. Okay, so as soon as I hits 3, it's gonna break the while loop, and then it should still print out a 3 at the end outside of the while loop. Let's test it out here. Okay, you can see right here it says 1, 2, and then outside of while loop, it prints out a 3. Okay, so that's using break statements. Now, an important thing to understand with using while loops is if you do not know how many times you need to repeat something or how many times you need to iterate something, such as in for loops, then you're gonna wanna use a while loop. Okay, while something is true, something else should be happening. Again, it's not based on some count. Okay, while I showed count for this one, you can't obviously use it that way, but it's also great if you don't know how long something's gonna take to run or how many times it needs to repeat. So that's a brief intro to while loops. If you have any questions about anything in this video, let me know.